Okay, what if you could take all the most tedious, repetitive parts of your job and just hand them over to a super smart assistant? Well, today we're going to explore exactly how to do that using some simple AI tools. And trust me, it could genuinely change your workday. Does this feel a little too familiar? That feeling of just drowning in a to-do list that never seems to end? Filled with all those little tasks that are necessary, sure, but also completely draining? It's a feeling most of us know all too well. And it's a huge leak in our most valuable resources, our time and our creative energy. And it's so much more than just being bored. This kind of routine work, it leaves us mentally and physically exhausted. It completely tanks our efficiency, it crushes our productivity, and it stops us from focusing on the important stuff. You know, the challenging work that actually moves the needle. But what if there was a way to just delegate all that busy work? Well, there is, and it's more accessible right now than it has ever been. Let's talk about using artificial intelligence tools as your own personal, on-demand smart assistant. So why even bother with this? Well, because the benefits are immediate and they are powerful. You get your time back, you boost your efficiency, you just make your workday less of a grind. I mean, this is the literal definition of working smarter, not harder. That all sounds great in theory, right? But let's see how it actually works in practice. We're going to walk through a really simple real-world example, drafting a professional email, a task that, let's be honest, can sometimes take way longer than it should. And the process is so incredibly simple. It really just boils down to 3 steps. First, you tell it your goal. Second, you give it the raw information. And third, you get back a polished result almost instantly. Yeah, it's really that straightforward. So let's just imagine we're a librarian ordering some books. Now, the key thing to notice here is that we're only providing the raw facts. We're not worrying about perfect phrasing or grammar. We are just giving the AI the basic building blocks it needs to put the final product together for us. Now this is the magic key. This is our instruction, or what people call a prompt. We're clearly stating our goal, write a professional email, and telling it to use the details we just gave it. Being really clear right here is what helps the AI give you a near-perfect result on the very first try. But here's where the power of this technology just gets incredible. What if you need that same email, but in a different language? You don't start over. You just give it a new, simple command, like, now write this in Marathi. And boom, instantly, you have a fully translated, professionally formatted email. I mean, just think of the time and effort this one little feature can save. Okay, so drafting emails is just scratching the surface. This exact same process, goal, details, result, unlocks a huge range of possibilities. So think of this less like a single trick and more like a brand new, powerful toolkit for your work life. And it's a seriously versatile toolkit. You can get help drafting presentation slides, designing graphics, summarizing those dense reports that nobody wants to read, troubleshooting technical problems. You can even get it to write snippets of code for you. Basically, if a task involves information, there's a really good chance an AI tool can help you out. So where do you start? Well, there are a ton of fantastic and often free tools available right now. You're looking at some of the most popular ones like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. Each one has slightly different strengths, so honestly, I'd encourage you to just explore a few and see which one feels right for you and your workflow. Okay, before you rush off to automate absolutely everything, we need to cover one final and very important rule. Think of this as the #1 pro tip for using these tools safely and smartly. And here it is. This rule is non-negotiable. Never, ever input sensitive personal information into a public AI tool. I'm talking names, addresses, phone numbers, any kind of private data. You see, these big public models can use your input for training, so it is crucial to keep your private information out of them to prevent any chance of it being misused. So how do you get around this? It's actually really simple. You use placeholders. So in our librarian example, you just use XXX for the name and the address. The AI generates that perfectly formatted email for you. Then you copy that text into your own secure email app, and you replace the XXX with the real info yourself. You get all the benefits with absolutely none of the risk. So the power is officially in your hands. You've got the concept, you've got the tools, and you have the #1 safety rule. The only question left is, when you look at your own to-do list, what is the very first tedious task you're going to automate?